Hey everybody. So today is March 20th, 2026. It's the spring equinox. And what I thought I'd do is just like a sample of what I'm going to do in all of the new moon and full moon events that I do all the time. Just so you have an idea of what we do, and that will give you a better idea of whether or not you want to join me in those. So I'm going to bring up the chart first of all for today for the spring equinox, and first I'll go through it for you and kind of show you what it means so that we've got something for our minds to chew on. And then after that, we're going to go into actually doing energetic work around it so that we can actually bring the energy of the chart into ourselves, integrate it in our physical body, in our spiritual body, in all aspects of ourselves. And that will really help us to use it going forward in the next for this spring equinox, the energy is actually full or strong for the entire next season, so until the summer solstice. I really think it also underlies the entire year until next March, but it's strongest for the next 3 months. When I do these for the lunar events, the new moon and the full moon, then the energy will be ripe for 2 weeks until the next. Well, it depends. It'll be coming, peaking, and coming to its culmination in 2 weeks' time. It's really around for an entire month because it really goes until the next new moon in the case of the new moon, or the next full moon in the case of the full moon. So yeah, it's strongest in the first 2 weeks after each event. So yeah, I just wanted to give you that. So we'll do that first, and then after I give you the meaning of the chart, then we'll go into like doing that energetic work. Okay. So I'm going to do this as if there are people here, so that you really get a taste of what these are about. So I'm going to first bring up the chart so you can see what we're talking about here. Let's see, share screen. Okay. And there you go. You should be able to see it now. So yeah, let me get Zoom out of the way so I can actually talk about this. Uh, okay, let's put it down there. All right, there we go. Actually, I'm gonna put it over. Yeah, put it over. It's not letting me do it. Okay, well, I'll put it here. Um, so you can see that this is the chart of the actual moment of the spring equinox, which was at 10:45 a.m. Eastern time, 10:45 a.m. with 41 seconds, if you want to be really precise about it. And this is from my location here in Centerville, Virginia. And you can see, so what is the spring equinox? Basically, it's when the sun goes into zero Aries. So that's zero Aries is considered the very beginning of the zodiac chart. So it's really a new year in a lot of ways. It's an astrological new year. And I should also say happy birthday to all my Aries people out there, because your month is starting now. So yeah. So what's Aries and what's the sun in Aries? Aries is about our authenticity, and it's very brave in the sense that it goes forward on its own path, and it's not going to compromise and do what other people think. It's going to take the initiative. It's going to go after what it wants, and it's not necessarily warlike or anything like that. In fact, Aries will often avoid conflict, but it's not going to compromise. It will just go on its path, and if someone doesn't like that, it'll just walk away from that person. So with the sun being in Aries now, it kind of shines a spotlight on that. And that's going to be the energy that we've got going forward for the next month. And we're going to see that really clearly in our own lives, as well as in the media and what's going on in the world. Now, this time today is actually extra special because, as you probably may or may not remember, we did have the Neptune and Saturn coming together at zero Aries back about a month ago. Actually, exactly a month ago, February 20th was when that happened. So the sun being there is kind of activating that conjunction of Saturn and Neptune coming together. So what's that mean? So Saturn is about putting structures in place. It's making things physical. It's making them real. It's bringing them into this world and kind of solidifying them. Whereas Neptune is about our dreams, our illusions, our imagination, everything that's kind of up in the ethers. And so it's what's magical to us. It's what's ideal. It's what inspires us. It's all of those things. So these are both, remember, in the sign of Aries. So we're thinking about what inspires us authentically, like what's really true to our heart. And with Saturn there together with Neptune, it's like we want to solidify that and bring that into this Earth plane. All of these, I mean, really, it's not all of the things, but it's the things that are most important to you in terms of what what you really, 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 what your spirit wants to bring in. Because Saturn and Neptune together in the highest octave are often thought of as a spiritual seeker. So it's bringing in that spiritual element of life and bringing it down to earth, solidifying it here and now in our lives. And the sun just activated that there. And you can see they're still really close together. With sun's at 0 Aries, Neptune's at 1 degree of Aries, and Saturn's at 4 degrees. So they're really close together and they're working together at this time. Um, so yeah, that's one of the strongest elements of this equinox, and it's we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep moving forward bravely on our authentic path, bringing in that dream, and bring it into our reality over the next 3 months at least. Now we've also got today, we've got Venus and the moon also in Aries. And Venus and the moon together, that's about like appreciating culture, appreciating where we came from, appreciating our history. Venus is our attraction to beauty, and the moon is bringing things from the past into the present. So putting those two together, it's like we're looking back on where we came from and we're not throwing it out. We're taking the best pieces of it and we're putting those forward in our new path going forward. So that's important. It's not We're not totally burning bridges here. We're starting up with this new energy of new ideals coming in, going forward in a new way, but we're building on what we really appreciate from our past, what we really appreciate from our ancestors, from the time that we had growing up, from the culture that we came from, all of the traditions that we really appreciated growing up. And we're carrying all those forward in a new way. So that's also a really important piece of this. Now, in addition to that, we've got, see these two black things here? There's ERI, and then there's this thing that looks like an OK kind of sign here. And you can see they are both at 25 degrees of Aries, and they're really close. They're only 3 minutes apart from each other, and that's really significant. So let me tell you what they are first. Eris is an asteroid, and Eris is all about radical inclusion or exclusion. So Eris does not like it when people are excluded, or when things are that are excluded from our lives or from our society. It really gets upset about that, and will seek to defend those who are excluded, those who are marginalized, those who are oppressed. And then it's right there with this other celestial body, Chiron, which is kind of a dwarf planet. But anyway, Chiron is about speaking a truth that was learned from a difficult experience. So it's like taking that painful experience and bringing it forward and speaking honestly about it. And it's not going to hide. It's not going to, like pitter patter and make things all nice when they're not. It's going to be very honest, very authentic, very direct in how it speaks. So you can imagine putting these two things together. It's like people are standing up and going to be standing up for people who are oppressed, for people who are vulnerable, for people who are excluded from society. And they're going to want to bring them into the fold and bring them, especially those that are that you really feel connected with, because remember, this is in the sign of Aries, so it's about, it has to authentically speak to you, this group of people that you're supporting, or this group of marginalized people, or I mean, it doesn't have to be just people. It could also be animals or other. It could be Earth as well. It could be the parts of society that we've neglected. So really speaking our truth about that. That's a big, big, very important part of this energy for the next 3 months. Especially with these two being so close together in the sky, the energy of them is blending together. So, okay. So what else have we got going on? We've got the sun and Neptune to some, but well, it's more just the sun. It's connecting to the planet Uranus, which is at the end degrees of the sign of Taurus. And and it's connecting in a nice way so that the energy flows freely, but it is flowing. So Uranus is about being in the moment. It's kind of the opposite of what I was just talking about with Venus Neptune of bringing in the past, but it's about Uranus is more concerned with what's happening right here, right now. I don't really care where I came from or where I'm going. I just want to know, I just want to make sure that right here, right now, I'm aware of it, I'm present. So there's an element of that as well. It's like always being aware of what's going on around you right in that moment and kind of coming back to that. And like it's almost like if you feel yourself getting out of balance, Uranus and the sun together kind of help you to ground and come back to your center, come back to your presence, come back to your awareness. So it kind of gives us that support, which is nice. So we're not, we still are, these two things don't cancel each other out. It's just that they're both going on. So we've got this appreciation for the past and from where we came from, but we're also, constantly centering. We're being invited to constantly center, constantly come into the present, and not get stuck anywhere along the way. So that's a really nice supportive energy there. Then we've got the Saturn, which we've already talked about, this gray thing here. This is making a nice aspect called a sextile to Pluto, which is in the sign of Aquarius. And so Pluto is about compulsions. It's about obsessions. It's about really deep ancestral connections to the past, even more so than the moon. It's also about like what's subconscious, bringing that into conscious awareness. And with Saturn there, it's like we're focusing on that. We're really bringing that into the core into the core of who we are. So there's an aspect of that as well, bringing up, really focusing on irrational things we did in the past and kind of saying, so how are we going to take that forward? Because remember, these planets are working together. So Saturn's not really in this alone. It's really working together with Neptune and the Sun. So it's like, how are we going to take the the stuff that happened in the past that especially the stuff that we don't like, and make it better going forward. That's what this energy kind of says to me. And Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius, which is all about the social situation, the political situation, our networks, our groups, what our role is in society. So it's like we're looking at that. We're looking at society and we're looking at how we can make society better, how we can make it more beautiful, how we can make it serve more people in a better way. So there's that aspect coming in as well, which is really nice. And then we've got Jupiter down here, this purple planet, and look at that connection, that easy connection to Mars, which is this red planet up here. So Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, and Jupiter in Cancer is Jupiter, first of all, expands everything it touches. So it's kind of, just like shining out its energy and just expanding what's around it. In the sign of Cancer, it's about our nest egg, our safety area, where we feel comfortable, where our tribe is, what we really care about, the surroundings, the immediate surroundings, and what we feel is like home. That's Cancer. So we're expanding that. And then with Mars just wants to act. It wants to do something. And it's still in the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is about putting things together that don't really seem to fit together, but when you do put them together, they actually make sense. So it's like taking all this stuff, I think from the past, but also just what's going on now, and somehow taking action on that in a way that supports our security and our nest egg. It's like, um, yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute, but let me just leave it at that for now. Then the other really important piece of this that I want to bring out is all of these planets together. We've got the asteroid Vesta, we've got the planet Mercury, we've got the North Node, which is our collective purpose. We've got Mars taking action, and then we've got Pallas, Athena, which is also an asteroid. And so let me explain some of these things. And these are all in the sign of Pisces, also. So these are all close enough that they're considered to be working together. Okay. And so Vesta is about intense purification. It only allow, it's kind of like Saturn a little bit, but it only allows what's absolutely pure and absolutely um, aligned, I guess, for lack of a better word, to come forward. Then there's Mercury, which is about how we think, how we associate ideas, how we connect different pieces of information, and how we communicate. We've got this collective life path, and look how close these are. They're both at 8 degrees, Mercury in the life path. And Mercury's at this point, it's still moving backwards in the sky, but in a couple hours, actually at 3:33 p.m. Eastern time, Mercury is going to turn around and start moving forward again. So while Mercury has been going backwards, we've been doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of thinking, a lot of, kind of going inside and thinking about our own place in all this. As it turns forward, we're going to start putting out those ideas more into the world. And this is about, about our life path, about our collective path in society going forward. Then Mars, of course, as I said, was taking action. And then Pallas, Athena, it's actually about using our talents and putting them out there in the world in just the right way to kind of make the best use of them. And it's very intentional about how it does that. Mercury and Mars, I should say, coming together is also about using our talents out in the world. So that's a big emphasis. So we are now with this life path element, we're finding ways to use our own unique talents and skills and put them out in the world and help each other also, because there's a nurturing element to Pallas as well. So help each other as well, put them out into the world in a way that just really works and makes the world, again, a better place going forward, helps to take the path of society to kind of a higher level. That's the ideal aspect of it. And it's very pure. It's very pure with Vesta there. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in the base chart. And then the last thing I wanted to say about this is, in vibrational astrology, we also look at higher octaves of the chart, basically meaning that we multiply the chart by different numbers to see where the planets are resonating together most strongly. So I'm not going to show those charts because it probably would just confuse you if I did. But I just want to talk about two things from that. One is that there's a very strong element with this spring equinox of getting into other people's stories and really understanding those stories and almost taking them on as if they're your own in a way, almost like an empathy type thing where you're like feeling those stories and feeling the energy behind them. So there's that piece and really internalizing that as well so that you can do something with it out in the world. So that's very, very strong. But then at the other end, there's also an energy of creativity and like building bridges. And I think I mean, these aren't really connected, but I think there's a theme here where we're actually using the information that we've internalized from all these stories, and we're building new bridges and connecting things and going places, like having an adventure almost to places where we've never been before. We're going to brand new places. We're creating brand new places to meet other people and to interact with them creatively and to maybe collaborate on different projects or different yeah, just exciting new things that are kind of light up your heart in a way. So yeah, we're building those bridges, blending together these different styles, these different cultures, these different approaches to doing things, bringing in the stories of other people into this, and then somehow taking this, mixing it all together, and then putting it out in the world, either in collaboration or on your own. Although I think there's a bigger piece of collaboration involved with this. And it's also not just online. We're actually going to be doing more in-person things because there is a very visceral, very like creative, like physically creative aspect to the planets involved in this high vibration as well. So that piece of it you're not going to get from other types of astrology. That only you can only see with vibrational astrology. But I wanted you guys to know that because that's part of the direction that we're heading in these next 3 months to a year. So that's pretty important. So okay. So I'm going to stop here with delineating the chart and because I've explained the main pieces of it. I mean, there's tons more. We could talk for years, but that's enough for now. And let's just go into the heart and spirit and soul piece of it as well, so that we can actually embody this in energy and make it part of us. So, having said that, I'm just going to invite you to clear and center yourself. And I'm going to use my bowl to do that. I'm going to be using some sound effects here, so I'm hoping this will come through okay on the Zoom call on the Zoom platform. But we'll give it a try and see how it goes. So, okay, I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes if you like, or keep them open as you will. It's up to you. But just inhale and exhale slowly a few times. And as you breathe, just notice the air moving in and out of your lungs. Notice your body and where you're connecting with the chair or with the space that you're standing on if you're standing. Noticing the physicality of you. And continue to breathe. Feel yourself in this place, in this time. Call all of your energy back to you. So it's present with you at this place, at this time, helping to center and ground you in this space together, in this group. And notice as you do this that we're on a threshold. We're at a point of new beginnings, pure potentiality. And this will flow much better when we're grounded and centered. We also call in our guardian spirits, our angels, our guides, our creator, in whatever name is appropriate for you. Any spiritual support beings that you feel to call present at this time to support you in this process, I invite you to call those in, thanking them for their presence here. Mother Earth, Father Sky, Brother Wind, Sister Water, thank you for your presence, supporting us in this process. And so it is. So, okay. So we are now hopefully grounded and a little bit more centered, a little bit more at peace. And as I said in this welcoming, we are on the threshold, on a precipice, at the beginning of something brand new going forward. So, to bring this in, I'm going to invite you again to, if you like to close your eyes or keep them open as you will, but just allow your spirit to come with me on a little adventure. All right. And I've got this written out, so I'm going to read it to you and invite you to follow along as you will. And just notice any feelings that come up, any sensations in your body, any ideas that pop into your head, anything at all, anything that just kind of calls your attention. Just notice it without any need to judge it. Just notice that it's there and see what comes in, and just go into this with an open heart and an open mind. Okay. So, okay, let's get started. So, again, close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, and let your hands rest softly on your lap or at your sides. And again, inhale slowly and exhale completely. Allow your shoulders to soften, your jaw to relax, your breath to settle into a comfortable rhythm, going into your body and out at its own pace. No need to rush, no need to follow anyone else. And imagine that you are standing in a quiet, open landscape. The air is calm, the light is soft. Everything feels peaceful and spacious around you. Behind you lies the path that you've been walking on for the past year. The experiences, the lessons, the challenges, and the growth. Take a moment to sense that path behind you. Notice what it feels like to look back at where you've come from. Now, turn your head and look ahead. In front of you is a beautiful bridge. This bridge leads somewhere new, a place you have not visited before. It represents the next chapter of your life, the new cycle that is beginning with the spring equinox. Notice what the bridge looks like. Is it made of wood, stone, light, maybe something else? Notice how it feels to stand before it. Take a moment to reflect on what you are leaving behind. Old patterns, old stories, old ways of seeing yourself. Imagine gently placing those things down on the path beside you. You do not need to carry them forward across the bridge. Now imagine a soft light appearing across or above the bridge. The light represents inspiration, intuition, guidance, the deeper wisdom of your higher self, the dreams that have been quietly growing within you. Let that light shine down gently on the path ahead. and see its golden presence. As you begin to walk across the bridge, notice how you feel. Perhaps you feel curiosity, excitement, hope. Perhaps you feel a little uncertain as well. All these feelings are welcome. Each step represents courage, the willingness to move forward into something new. As you reach the middle of the bridge, pause for a moment. Look around you. Notice the horizon in front of you and ask yourself quietly, what new possibilities are opening for me now? What kind of life am I ready to create in this next chapter? Now continue walking toward the other side of the bridge. As you step forward, imagine yourself stepping into a new version of yourself that feels more authentic, more confident, more aligned with your true path. Notice how this version of you stands, how they move, how they carry themselves in the world. When you reach the end of the bridge, pause once more and take a moment to feel the ground beneath your feet. This is new territory, a new season, a new beginning. Silently ask yourself, what is one quality I want to bring into this new chapter of my life? Take one more breath, slowly draw it in, and a gentle breath out. Allow the image of the bridge and the path ahead to stay with you. When you feel ready, slowly bring your awareness back into the room, back into the space, back into your chair, feeling your fingers, feeling your body on the chair, feeling your toes and feet on the floor. Fully back in your body. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. I hope that was helpful for you. And I hope that some things came up into your awareness that weren't there before, some ideas about where you're going forward in this next chapter of your life. So I'm going to invite you to pull out your journal if you have it with you, or a piece of paper and a pencil or pen, and just take a moment to draw something that came up to you, or came up for you, I should say, in that visualization. It doesn't have to be artistic, it doesn't have to be beautiful, just a symbol, maybe a word or two, maybe a few sentences, whatever's appropriate for you. Think about the colors and the shapes that came up, any symbols, and just kind of draw those. Take a few minutes, and you can pause this video if you need more time to do this. Um, Generally, in the groups, we would take a few minutes to kind of just tune into what came up and jot a few things down. And depending on the size of the group, we may even talk about them and what they mean for us. depends. Each group is different, honestly, going forward, or in with yeah, with each, it depends on the energy of the people there. We all create this together after all. It's not just me by any means. So yeah. Um, so from there, I just want you to kind of get a sense of what those symbols or words or images that came in, shapes, colors, light, energy, feelings, like what they symbolize for you. And just let them percolate in your mind for a little bit. Um, we are going to do a little bit of movement to bring this energy in and to kind of allow it to shift in ways that solidify it and that bring it more deeply into our physical body. Movement's really important for that. So I'm going to put on a little bit of music and you can do some slow walking, some stretching, or even some dancing. And just kind of let your body move however it wants to move. No judgment, no, looking at other people, just free expression to allow this, whatever came into to um to come into more awareness. So let me bring the music up if I can get my phone to work. Let's see. Sorry, this is taking a minute. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go. This is called Ecstatic, and I should say I'm getting this music from Insight Timer, the meditation app. So this is called Ecstatic by Sadi Love. So ecstatic, so so allow the words to wash over you as you move. I would probably typically stand up while doing this, but I may even do some of this with my eyes closed. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I don't want to go on forever, but we would normally do at least a full song of that. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of a type of movement that might come into to these. And this was really appropriate for this particular energy. So yeah. So finishing that, I would just invite you to kind of again feel into what came in and what if anything gelled together from that experience of drawing, the first the visualization, then drawing the symbols, and then moving them more deeply into your body. And see if you can formulate an intention for yourself of something that you'd like to bring in into this new year that we're going into now. Okay. And I would invite you to take a moment, maybe pause the video again and just write that down. What's your intention? What new element do you want to bring into this new year that you're bringing forth from the past, from everything you've built in the past, from everything you've experienced in the past? You're now bringing this in to go forward in a new, more authentic way. Okay. So write that intention out for yourself. And from there, we are each going to state our intentions for moving forward as a power statement. And I invite you to again, pause the video if you like, or just do it out loud right now. Just say something like, the new version of me is someone who, and then complete that sentence. Okay. So I invite you to do that right now. The new version of me is someone who, in my case, shares my gifts more freely without caring if others judge me. That's the new version of me. And this new version of me also connects with other people and does things in partnership and collaborates in a much greater way than I've ever done in the past. So I'm bringing that in. That's my power statement. So you please go ahead and say yours. And then we're just going to integrate that in, and say to each other, if we were on the call with people, we would say to each other, maybe either in, depending on the size of the group, but it could be in pairs, or it could be in small groups, or it could be, just the entire group together. I see that strength in you. When each person complete or speaks their power statement aloud, I see that strength in you. So that's what we would do this time. And finally, we would close out with a little bit of gratitude, just naming one thing that you appreciate about the moment, about this moment in your life. And you can say that silently, or you can say that out loud as you wish. Giving thanks to Creator, to all of the spirits and guides who have been with us during this whole time, who have supported us in this experience. We thank you. We're deeply grateful for your presence. We invite you to continue to support us, and we ask for your support going forward so that we can create this new version of ourselves that we've just brought in together. And we thank you for your support and assistance in that effort, remembering that we can always turn to Creator and always turn to our guides and spiritual support team whenever we need to. We're never alone because they're always with us. And we just need to remember that and to call on them. So a reminder about that. And I'm just going to play a quick song on the drum to honor them and give them thanks and close out this new cycle that has begun. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you watching this video and participating if you chose to do so. And I invite you to join me in future new moon and full new moon events that I'll be doing in the future. I typically will request a $20 participation fee from the participants. So because I need to put food on my plate and feed my family. So I'd appreciate you joining me for those and supporting me in this way. And I do my best to support you as well. So thank you for being part of my community. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a very happy new year, and many blessings to you and all my love.